It is the year 2119. The megacorporations hold New Europe in their grip, and the metropolis spanning AI Gaia keeps the peace, keeps the atmospheric processes going, keeps the wheels of economic prosperity rolling, in theory. But the gulf between theory and practice in the 22nd century leaves a lot to be desired. And from secret and not so secret bases around the continent-sized city, mercs of all temperaments try to claw something, anything, back from the forces and circumstances arrayed against the folks on and under the streets. Welcome back to the future dystopia of the Gaia Complex, and welcome to Hint Plays, a channel for RPGs and tabletop gaming of many stripes, featuring players from Hobby Gamers International, a convivial conclave of creatives from around the world. We generally run weekend games on a 3-week rotation with a varied cast of players and GMs, along with occasional specials, online board games, and general chats about gaming. I'm Chrono Magistrate, aka Anil, and I will be your games master today for session 2 of Going Anywhere, chapter 2 of Connect the DOTs. With me this afternoon are Druska,
Hello.
Shard Angel,
Hey.
and Sarah Girl.
Hi.
Astute viewers may notice that we have a gap on the screen. Alas, due to life issues, Nightbites has had to step away from the game for the time being. We wish them well, and hopefully we will see them in a future chapter. I am also currently tapping up a potential fourth to join our crew, but hopefully they will be able to join us for chapter 3. But before that, let us introduce our current roster of mercs. Starting with Drut, who are you playing?
I am playing Demon, who is a core hacker who one day will actually do some core hacking instead of molesting electronics and tweaking normal computer systems to dance to her every whim. She is not the nicest person on the planet, but she thinks she is. She thinks she's charismatic, hot, and persuasive, and she isn't. She's spiky and weird, and I love her dearly.
She has definitely done a lot to and with electronics so far.
Yeah, all consensual, I promise.
Well, I'm not sure TMP would quite agree, but
details.
Shard.
I'm playing Vault, a data dealer who specializes in building relationships with people and giving them a little bit more than they ask for, just to basically butter up those relationships to maintain them over other people.
Neat. And Sarah Girl, who are you playing?
I'm playing Silver, a slightly secretive cyberdoc. He's there to help, maybe.
You're there to randomly install cyberware when people aren't looking, aren't you?
Surprise
cyberware.
He always asks. This might be quite persuasive with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you ask when people are sleep talking?
Surprise.
Look,
cyberware.
Folks have to start somewhere. The first step on the path to cyberization may be the hardest.
My first ex-wife got permission to do things by talking to me while I was sleep talking.
Oh no.
Oh, that's cheating.
It is.
Oh, no.
It is very much.
There are certain lines there, yes.
Yes, hence ex-wife.
God.
So that is our stalwart crew. And last time on what is the name of this chapter? Going Anywhere. That's it. Chapter 2 of this ongoing adventure campaign, serialization, whatever you wish to call it. Pretty much following straight on from chapter 1, wherein you had hit a Telwyn Peak's construction depot in the district of Charlet, and had basically turned the place over. And in doing so, found a mysterious person that seemed to hail from somewhere they shouldn't have.
Oh, yes.
In rescuing them, you returned them to a safe house belonging to one of the outsider vampire gangs of New Europe, and met the charismatic Sebastian. And in doing so, arranged, or rather, made a new deal with the rescuee, who I am struggling to remember the name of because
Orion is the one we're looking for,
Yes.
not Rigel.
Rigel.
Yeah.
That's
Rigel,
it.
that
Thank
was
you for
it.
remembering me. That was a test.
He's a
players.
covert.
Yeah.
He's a
That'll be
covert
the-
operative.
That'll be the one thing I remember tonight. We've wasted it early.
Yes.
Sebastian was really, really polite. I liked that vampire.
Yeah.
Rigel has tasked you with finding the errant or missing team leader of the group he is part of. He hasn't really given you much details about who or why or what it is they're doing, simply saying that Orion has most of the details. Orion was apparently captured in a raid when they went to a secret assignation. And you have been tasked with not only attempting to rescue him should he still live, but also getting payback on the interrogator that Rigel suffered under whilst incarcerated in the basement of the TMP depot.
And that was, the interrogator was Lamar Biftek, I think.
That's correct. Yeah. And so following various leads and information sources, last session you visited, you went to the district of Nama, having followed the trail of the courier company, Rapidel Couriers, to their depot there. Rapidel having been doing business with the TMP depot, and in particular having ferried Rigel's unconscious body there that you discovered from camera footage. It was at that depot that you discovered both the van that had transported him to Charlet, as well as the air car that Biftek had used to travel to to Charlet, back and forth, and you managed to affix a camera, or no, a tracking device to said air car, just before a courier or a driver emerged onto the roof, got in, and took off. At the same time, you spotted a figure leaving the office and getting into a ground car that was marked with a Trill Investments logo on the back, somewhat discreetly, and that car has now driven off as well. And I believe, Volt, you have dispatched your trusty companion Ash to follow said vehicle. So we return to the early afternoon scene.
Dispatched is such an interesting word. I would never dispatch my bird. I'm sorry. It took me a minute, but
yeah, fine. Task then. I mean, okay, fine. Inadvertently dispatched.
Oh God, no!
That's not making it any better, to be fair.
Okay.
I was supposed to be frying chicken, not Raven.
Well,
Okay.
but
Well, you have tasked your raven then with the job of following said vehicle, whilst you look to try and keep the air car under surveillance, because the tracker you have installed is a short range one. You will have to be within a reasonable distance of it, or at least directionally, in order to find out where it is going. So we enter.
Taxi?
I think I have drive car, right? We just need to find a car.
I can do motorbikes, but I can't do cars.
Drive
I
is
actually
a
do
skill
like
under
drive.
perception.
Yeah.
I don't have bike or drive because I expect other people to drive me around if necessary.
The motorbike is apparently under brawn. This confuses me.
Yes, different skills
there-
for different piloting or
Mhm.
different controls.
Yeah,
Bikes are really heavy.
can be, yes. Yeah, I can fly planes and drones, but I can't actually drive a car.
Yeah, no, I can drive, but not none of the other stuff.
Okay, shall we nick a car then?
So you do have options. You could try and hail a taxi.
There is an entire parking lot in front of us too.
There is also there is a parking lot of courier vehicles belonging to Rapidel.
I
Okay,
don't know if I want RoboCops coming after me though.
There are also
Advance.
a smattering of other vehicles on the street or in nearby streets that you could potentially borrow.
go
Should
big
you
or
so
go
wish.
home. Electronics advanced in order to disable the security systems on the car. In one of the courier ones.
Okay.
And hotwire it.
Right, you're going to have to access the parking lot, because remember it is a walled compound.
Yep, that's not a problem.
Okay, so you're going to presumably approach from a surreptitious angle.
Yes.
Cameras?
We're good at this. Yeah, we know how to handle cameras.
Okay.
I guess my stealth with reflex is 4.
What is this thing you call stealth?
Okay, so who is attempting to gain access to the Rapidel compound then?
I'm gonna surveil and keep an eye out for the direction of the cameras and other viewpoints to help guide.
Okay.
Did you say you have electronics advanced, don't you, Sarah girl?
Yeah, I have electronics advanced.
And you've got stealth.
I mean, my stealth is very bad, but technically, yes.
You have stealth.
I do have stealth, yes.
I don't. Off you go.
Out of curiosity, then, because both surveillance and stealth are my underlying skills.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's
I
true.
don't have any electronics though.
Yeah, unfortunately, you could get in, but you couldn't do anything while you were there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could attempt.
Yeah, go for it. You got grit, it's fine.
Yeah. Scale a wall. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Are there any doors to get in that I could lockpick?
No. Basically, so there is a wall around the compound with an open path going through towards the front door of the building that is in the middle of it. And the parking lot is where the courier vehicles are, is to one side of the central building. So you could approach, obviously, you could approach the wall from the parking lot side to try and avoid, any cameras that are near the front door or the path to the front door. Obviously, your easiest route is to go in through the front gate, but you can obviously see the cameras from where you are. That are doing that. That said, the exterior cameras are not difficult to spot, as they are basically on poles at periodic intervals around the compound fence.
Okay.
So I guess if you guys can deal with the cameras,
Okay, where's the closest camera that we can provide a blind spot with?
You'd probably have to go around to the other side of the building, um, and try and access a camera that way.
Right.
This is slightly better security, however, than the ones at TMP. Because of how high these are, there are no any blind spots are going to be small.
I sent my bird away. Sorry.
If you lot really want to just nick a rando's car, then we can nick a rando's car.
Probably safer.
Okay.
Just hopefully it's not some solo's car.
That's their problem.
Okay.
Bring it back.
Anything in particular you are looking for?
The dullest car, surely, that's gonna not stand out.
Do you have things similar to ice cream trucks over there in Europe?
Yeah,
We have ice cream
trucks.
vans.
Yeah.
Ice cream vans? That's what we need.
I mean, that's not really what you're going to find. You can. This is a semi-industrial area.
Mhm.
You can probably find the equivalent of small transit, like a small transit van, if you wish.
Yeah.
That'd probably work out for the best
So let's
for
see.
our equipment and for lack of windows for looking in.
Yeah.
There is that. Let me find the sort of vehicle you are looking for.
I mean, if we could find a hearse, that would be ideal.
Oh my god.
Not quite. Yeah, so you've got, obviously, there are a couple of streetcars. There's a couple of what is it? The new Hauser Automotive three-wheeled tuks, if you wish, but
no.
they are probably a bit slow. However, they would be the easiest to disable and take.
Yeah, but they've also got the battery life of about 10 minutes.
So yeah, you can find you can see parked, like tucked into an alleyway nearby, a somewhat beat up TNT Tran T2.
Oh, it's been stolen many times.
I mean, possibly you couldn't say, but it is like primer grey color. It's probably had a couple of paint jobs in the past, but yeah, there is one parked beside a residential building. Should you so wish.
Any windows with blinds up that have a view of the van or any of the doors of the van?
No, from where you are, you can basically see you can basically see it front on, so you can see into the driver cab.
Oh, I was thinking of the residential building for being able to see what we're doing.
Oh,
to
like
van.
there are windows and such kind of all around.
All right.
Not most of them are not they're in none too clean a condition.
Fair. All right, I'll keep an eye out to see if anyone's looking outside. Probably stick to the side that's not facing the building.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Whoever is approaching the vehicle, could you give me a stealth check, please?
Go for it, Sarah, go.
Oh god. What am I rolling? I'm so sorry. It's been forever.
No, so you're rolling 2d12. Sorry, it's off reflex. What is stealth? I need to remember.
Stealth is reflexes.
Stealth is reflexes.
And it's off 2d12, isn't it?
Yes. And what is your reflexes, Sarah?
4.
Yeah. Okay. So you definitely need to roll. So you're looking for. You have the skill stealth, I believe.
Yes.
Then you are looking for at least one of those dice to be showing 4 or under. And hopefully no 12s if you fail.
I got a 3 and a 7.
A 3 and a 7. So you are good.
Yay.
He
you,
somehow doesn't clank his arm on everything that goes past.
yeah, like you haven't got a huge amount of room. There's basically just enough room to open the door, should you so wish. So yeah, you have the vehicle, or rather, you are near the vehicle, and you believe you have not been seen. There is the question of jacking it now.
Okay.
So, electronic security to bypass the locking mechanism. He said, trying to remember what the actual yeah, electronics. That is, yeah.
Well, my skill is 8, so
Yeah. In which case, you are good. You
Cool.
won't need to roll for that. Yeah. This is not a complicated locking mechanism. You are probably right in your estimation that this has seen a number of previous owners, shall we say.
I'm thinking it was probably left here by the previous person.
If we get
Acquired
in,
it.
if we get in and find like there's duct tape and wires loose under
I
the
mean,
dashboard, I think.
vehicles aren't cheap, so
Yeah, that's fair.
that it is unlikely that someone has just left one lying around. That said, vehicles do have a tendency to change ownership on a regular basis
Yep.
in a metropolis like this.
Can't imagine why.
So you are able to bypass the security lock and gain access to this van. What do you wish to do next?
Right. Hotwire it.
Cool. That will be an electronics check.
Do you want to do it or shall I?
you can go for it because I'm about to drive.
Oh, okay.
So-
Yeah, I'm little. I can vanish underneath the dashboard.
What
it's
does
also
what does hot
transit.
wiring look like in this future? Because like,
I would imagine much the same as it does in the present.
Yeah, except
Only with-
you're basically using override chips and things like that.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because the whole wire thing, that's not even usable for most newer vehicles.
No, it's more a case of getting to the socket.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At this stage. Electronics advanced.
Yep.
I've got a 9 brains.
Okay, in which case you're good. This is not exactly bread and butter, but
Yeah.
you know, this is not
Yeah.
difficult for someone of your skill.
It's just going to be basically plugging my deck into it and asking it nicely.
Yes. So, you've
Freezing?
you've lost a
Said
couple of
what I
minutes.
said.
You've lost a couple of minutes on the air car, but you are still getting a signal, just about in terms of direction.
Should have put another tracker on your Raven. And then we could have tracked
Oh.
the Raven, tracking the tracker, tracking.
He's fine.
Who tracks the trackers?
I don't know.
Uh,
Us, hopefully.
Roll out.
Okay, so your skills have worked out quite nicely in that the person driving is not also the person monitoring the
Tracker.
because you would not be able to do both.
No.
So there is like all three of you can fit up front. It might be a little bit of a squeeze with Silver's arm.
No.
But you can, or someone can be in the back.
I'm perfectly happy.
The windows at the back. There are no side panel windows. There are two on the back doors, but they have been blacked out.
I'm perfectly happy to go in the back because if I'm following the tracker on my tablet, that's probably the best way to go.
There,
And I can just give orders as to where we're going.
yeah, there's a mesh grill basically that separates the back from the front cab, so you can chat to each other without interference.
Yes. Cabby. I said cabby.
All right, shotgun, just to help keep an eye on the roads and the people and the skies.
Okay.
Which elbow is it, by the way, Serigal?
The right.
And this is Europe, so this is left-hand drive. Yeah, you feel free to ride shotgun on right. Don't make any sharp corners.
In fairness, the knife isn't out all the time.
Well, Europe, you drive on the right side of the car, right? No, yeah.
We do. Europe is on the left.
Oh, so Europe's like us. Okay.
It's the Commonwealth, isn't it, for the most part?
It's the Commonwealth that drives on the right, yeah. Europe got influenced by Napoleon, so they drive on the right. They drive on the left, sorry. So it's a historical thing, okay? Napoleon didn't want to be British, or didn't like the British, and wanted to do everything opposed to the British. This is stupidity.
So, blah, 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 blah.
And I actually meant to say that they drive on the right. It's my brains, but it's left-hand drive, of course.
Yes. So, you head out following the signal. Obviously, these are not comfortably wide, well-appointed streets. The roadways, most of the roadways in New Europe are functional and serviceable. They are also often narrow, not the clearest, particularly in built-up districts, which, to be fair, comprises most of New Europe. And you are a little bit behind the tracker or the air car right now, so you aren't going to be able to take things comfortably.
Yeah. Drive.
So I am going to need active drive tests as you let's say speed your way through the various suburbs and districts of New Europe, heading somewhere. All you know at the moment is that. Let me get the map up. Where are you? You are in there. All you are getting at the moment is that you are on roughly a southeastern bearing.
Okay. Warn me if we come up to any speed bumps. Out of curiosity, any luggage straps or anything secured to the side walls of the back compartments?
There are very definitely hooks.
There's
probably the equivalent of a spare bungee cord or two lying on the base that you could
right.
hook.
The last person in the back of this was without a kidney and was in an ice bath, weren't they?
It's difficult to tell. There's no obvious blood splatters.
That doesn't mean anything. Okay, not that I'd know. Right.
Look, if that was the likely case, then they would probably have Tactimed livery on it. But
there is that. Yeah. Okay, I should just brace myself in the corner then.
There's probably enough stuff that you can rig a handle or a strap to.
I'll cocoon myself with things that hopefully won't stab me.
Okay.
If we goes over a speed bump unexpectedly.
Serigel, can you give me a drive check to get to grips with this vehicle?
A 3 and a 6.
And your perception is
7.
Excellent. Yeah, it is not difficult. It handles reasonably well, and you set off in pursuit of you set off in pursuit of the air car. It doesn't seem to be moving fast, but then you can partly put that down to this is industrial district. The smog level or the cloud level is probably lower than in more commercial districts, because obviously the higher up you go, the more unpredictable, in inverted commas, weather gets, which is why you don't see a lot of aerial vehicles, and why an air car is a particularly rare a rare thing to be seeing around. Most air vehicles are either drones or not troop, but insertion aircraft designed to rapidly convey groups of people from one place to another. The fact that you have got a not exactly quiet, but a low noise emitting air car here speaks of some significant wealth somewhere. Either that or, the fact that it is Rapidel branded. You suspect that this may be the only air car that the company own, probably, but would also put them in reasonably high demand for courier servicing, for when you really need something to avoid ground level issues. Speaking of which, you are definitely heading southeast, and you are picking up a little bit of speed, avoiding piles of trash, construction debris, and materials that you really hope aren't people. And you're approaching you're approaching another district called Sine. Can I have a drive check, please?
4 and a 3.
Excellent. Okay. Drut, does Demon have surveillance?
Demon does indeed have surveillance, and her perception is 6.
Her perception is 6. Can I ask for a perception check for you to follow the tracker and at least interpret what you are getting, because it's not the most advanced of things. As well as this is the first time you are properly trying to track an aerial vehicle.
6 and a 4.
Didn't she also make that tracker on the fly last session? Yeah,
there is that as well.
Yeah. Basically, I've got to translate this in there as the crow flies, so to speak, into road directions. So I'm going to be scrolling ahead in the direction of their flight while trying to work out the road map, so that I don't mooch us down, a narrow alleyway like the world's crappiest sat nav.
Yep. You managed to get through Sine okay, despite a few traffic jams that were deftly avoided.
It's residential areas I'm worried about. I fear the cul-de-sac.
So yeah, the roads are reasonable. Hang on, let me actually get my notes for the session up. What else is going on here? Okay, yeah, yeah. You carry on going. you're having to take obviously a few detours and such, and having to retriangulate on the various vectors. You do note that whilst you are not necessarily like under the vehicle, you definitely seem to be keeping up with it. Can I have another drive check, please?
1 and 5.
Okay. Can I just check? That's 2 successes, isn't it? You said your perception is
7.
7. Okay, cool. Yeah, you are definitely keeping up with it and avoiding the worst of traffic. You're avoiding things pretty well. So yeah, you've been going for I don't know how long time, but you've gone through several districts at this point. If you're following a map, Demon, you definitely seem to be heading back towards, or at least in the vague direction of the Luxem Sprawl.
Right.
You suspect if you keep on going on this, you'll probably end up maybe somewhere between 40 and 80 kilometers north of the Luxem Sprawl.
I would like to pop another window and look for, is it Trill Investments, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have any properties listed in this area?
Too many to note.
Okay. No, that's fair.
There isn't a region, or rather, there isn't any like. Obviously, there will be district offices in various things, but you're still effectively within the sight of the Trill Investment Tower or in Bruss, because that the lights on that, as I mentioned before, can be seen for like 100 kilometers away.
Okay.
And the Luxem Sprawl is about that.
Right.
From Central Bruss. That said, like obviously you can find local offices of Trill Investments, because as one of New Europe's biggest corporations, they have their hands everywhere.
Of course they do.
But one of the things that you do note as you are looking ahead is that there is actually a reasonable chance, if you carry on on this route, that you're going to either get to or pass through one of the hospital districts at Curvaux, which is the region's hospital.
Right.
As I think I mentioned in like the various setup things, there are technically only 18 hospitals in all of New Europe.
Oh, God, yes.
Are they mega hospitals?
They are district-sized hospitals.
That's terrifying.
Local clinics.
They're like their own cities almost.
Yes, effectively.
I mean, hospitals are already too difficult to get around. How are we supposed to deal with that?
So yeah, the hospital city of Curvaux is home to one of Tactomed's regional hospital, and also various other medical related companies. They have set up around that, and the various things that go to service folks who are ill, etc.
Right.
And yeah, you are as the drive continues, you definitely seem to that is a feeling that you get more and more sure about. Either you are heading there or you are going to be passing through it. So
Right.
you've got to be aware that there is going to be a lot of traffic.
Yeah, I will warn Silver that we could be looking at a traffic build-up and we might be headed to the hospital.
Cool.
Silver is distinctly uncomfortable at going near the hospital.
be
I
fine.
wonder why.
I have no idea.
Cool. Can I have another drive check, please?
Yes.
Is this a drive check to run away?
4 and 2.
Cool. You are doing well in this vehicle. You are avoiding you're avoiding the various hazards of being on the road with distinct aplomb.
Google's dice roll is really giving me an easy time today.
Yeah. And so yeah, you've passed through various districts. You Yeah. As you are passing through, Hofes, things start to get a little bit ropey. The buildings around here definitely are showing signs of recent conflict. I mean, New Europe is constantly in conflict. There is no safe place on the streets. But here in particular, you are driving through. You are driving through some streets that seem in the middle of an out and out gang battle. As the clouds are not just directly overhead, but gunfire, gunshots, smoke are all pouring out of nearby streets and such. You could opt to go around, but potentially lose the signal, or carry on going through.
How good you driving, Silver?
I mean, at the moment it's pretty great, but
Look, there's a good couple of 100 points along this road. Just keep going.
Cool.
I'll go along with it if people want to.
If you go straight through, it'll be fine. I mean, let's face it, we'll be doing the streets a favour if we run over a couple of people having fights. It's one less person to start shooting at someone else.
Can we tell, like, what gang this is? Is there anything, like, distinct about this at all, or is it just general?
It seems to be general gang violence. You will roughly know what gangs are in the area because this isn't too far away from the Luxem Sprawl. So you suspect it's general gang violence. But not...
There was no gang markings on the outside of this van, were there?
No.
That we noticed?
But you know that this is not... your gang, basically.
Well,
this is not territory that belongs or is claimed by...
It should be fine. So long as you ignore other gangs doing their business with other gangs, you're fine. We're not currently at war with anyone as of right now.
Yes.
Really.
Give it time.
As I say, because the Luxem Sprawl is divided effectively between 5 gangs. This is at least the territory of one of them.
Right. Well, a dealer's choice as to whether you run them over equally or try and avoid one side or another.
God. I guess I just try and get through there as fast as possible.
Okay.
Without hitting too many people, but I'm not going to put us in danger.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, in which case I am going to be applying modifiers to the skill test.
Quite glad I used the blood-splattered dice today.
Right. What can I do here? So I apply it to the die roll. Okay. Can I get your roll, please? There will be a +2 modifier to the dice.
I got a 3 and an 11.
Cool. Even with the +2 modifier, you do get a success. You power that van through, and remarkably with very little damage. There are a few dings as bullets fly around the vehicle, and some very concerned shouts as you send the van through the middle of a firefight.
See, I was hoping for that scene from dang it, names, a space show, where they're close in and they're using point defense cannons to fight each other, and it just tears through the ship, but it hits no one.
No, there is enough.
The Expanse. There's a scene like that.
Ah,
Yeah.
If you had been in the Tuck or one of the streetcars, then yes, you very definitely would be rolling to avoid bullet damage. However, you plumped for the van, which
Yep.
has a slightly higher defense capability.
yep. I'm lying now on the floor of the van at the back, braced against whatever I can brace, and with the tablet like this.
Yeah, you can definitely see some indents on the side panel where the bullets have struck.
Yeah, I'm staying focused, not panicking.
Meanwhile, Vault is just sitting there. The window's rolled up, but arms on the side, waving at people shooting at each other.
Cool. Can I get another drive check and another surveillance check
Yeah.
from Udra, please?
Okie doke. 5 will do it.
I got a 6 and a 3.
Cool. Yeah, you have kept track with the remarkably, you have kept track with the air car pretty well. And as you enter the hospital district of Curvo, you kind of like riding over one of the few remaining like freeways, motorways into the district, which is notionally kept because of ambulances and things, or tactomed vehicles. Sorry, needing to travel in and out of the district. The road network around here is reasonably good, if crowded. You can actually see the air car not too far away, only a couple of blocks as you crest this motorway before it heads back down into the district proper. As it touches down on the top of a tall building.
Okay.
And about 5 to 10 minutes later, you pull up in the vicinity of said building.
Okay. What are we looking at?
So you're looking at a pretty standard office block style building. This seems to be a commercial district, or not commercial district, a commercial area. There are a bunch of insurance and a bunch of insurance companies. There is a Saffron. There is a Saffron Biomed outlet store. Here, the usual things, and a couple of local dispensaries, in inverted commas, and such. But of particular interest, is the building that the air car landed on, which is which is labelled. What is the name of this company? This is. Where are my notes? Here we go. The office has the sign Tactical Medical Insights.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Tactical medicine.
I think they're one of the biggest groups, aren't they? Tactimed, if I remember
Tactimed
correctly.
Tactimed is the primary healthcare provider megacorp in New Europe.
Of course they are.
They are the ones who run all the hospitals. They are the ones who are licensed to run the ambulance service, such as it is.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, basically all medical matters I primarily run through Tactimed. Obviously, there are competitors, subsidiaries, other people in the field. Like they don't run all the cybernetics companies, for example. They don't run all the medical firms you could find in New Europe. Obviously not. But they are the biggest, the largest of them.
It's the kind of place where a lot of cyberdocs get their start before they turn cyberdoc.
Yeah, kinda.
That kind of like
They are the largest trainer and employer of medically skilled personnel.
What are the odds of us looking like students?
That
I'm
said,
42, so not much.
this looks like your standard office block. There are obviously some, most buildings here were probably white or off-white at some point.
Right.
Various shades of grey and soot are probably the order of the day now. That said, some attempt at synthetic plant life has been made on a number of the buildings around here. That might be a tree, or what people remember a tree to look like.
True. Okay, how are we going to do this? And where's your raven?
They haven't come back yet.
Oh, that's good.
No. So how long is your raven likely to fly for?
Until the car stops and then come back to me.
Okay. Is there a distance to how?
Following a car as a raven flies is fairly easy.
No, but
most birds.
in terms of returning to you.
Oh, it's just a matter of. Honestly, I probably won't see them again until we return to a place where there's familiar, or they will try to find me from where we left from. But they don't track by scent; they track by eye. So you can make up whatever time you want for how long it would take for them to find us.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're almost certainly not finding you here.
Okay, ravens can fly up to 25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neat. Genetically engineered ravens, possibly even more.
Yeah.
Although you have a standard model, so...
I didn't realise that there's been a study on ravens in the Eastern Alps.
Cool.
The maximum distance in a day was around 100 miles, but this was described as exceptional.
You are, I say, outside this office.
Okay.
How much you want to bet there's going to be a basement with a person in it, just like with the...
Would not be shocked in the slightest.
As I say, you pull up. You've pulled up. The air car has probably got here maybe 10-15 minutes ahead of you.
Right. I mean, do we want to try and bluff our way in, or do we want to try and break in after dark?
After dark tends to work for us, but we might be following the car again. We don't know how long they're going to be here. Also, we should do some surveillance first just to see how the activity on the outside looks.
Okay. I glitched out. Is the office building set back from the road, or is it just off the
No,
road?
like it's on the road basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the offices and buildings around here are.
Okay, I would suggest then we park up round the corner,
Mhm.
and I'll pull out my drone and
Um,
go for a little look around the roof space and outside, get the lay of the land.
would you be able to find any information on what businesses are in this office building as a whole?
Should be able to if it's got business directory listed.
I was thinking
Be whoever pays
businesses.
rent.
I was thinking of shell companies and other information that's deeper in.
Um, from here, probably not. I might need a core access for that. A core access point, I would have thought.
Right. Where are
Um,
core access points, and how does that work to locate them and otherwise?
Most core access points are going to be within buildings,
Okay.
or you will need a place to sit down and jack your rig into. Like it won't be hard to necessarily find a point.
yeah.
It's whether or not that point is safe for you to sit down and jack into.
Yeah.
There is obviously, as I said, this is not like CP Red. There is, or rather, it is in a similar way that there is a local data pool. There is an internet of sorts
Yeah.
that still operates. Whether or not you will be able to find much in the way of deep details may not be, but things like things which are generally available, you may also be able to find a website for
Yeah.
tactical medical insights if you go looking.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy to do some googling on
Yeah, basically
that.
what the equivalent you would get from a Google search.
Yeah. I can pull that out, but I can't do that and run the surveillance drone at the same time.
Well, we don't really need the surveillance drone active until it takes off again, right?
Except that you wanted to do some surveillance, get some idea on the activity around the building. So an aerial view would be useful there.
I can hack a little bit.
I mean, if you
as
wanted to
well.
do a Google, like what the equivalent of a Google search, it does. Like all of you are capable of doing that.
Yeah.
That doesn't take much. It's just whether or not you are you are trying to do something
Yeah.
specific,
Um.
or look for specific information. In which case, that's more dependent on your brains.
Okay.
I mean, I have programming and a tablet, but I don't have like
Yeah,
control
like
or
that is
anything.
that
So,
is like that is plenty to do a
Yeah.
search.
Can I make? Yeah. Can I? In that case, can I do the equivalent of the Google searches and such, using my rig?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay, that's probably going to be quicker.
yeah, that's not a problem.
Um.
While you also send up
Yeah.
while you send up your drone. Okay.
Yeah, because then I can probably develop swap tasks more easily
Mm-hmm.
because I'm working at the speed of thought rather than the speed of my finger.
Yeah, that is fair. Okay, you send your drone up. You're basically just going. You want to just do a broad record of the area. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So what the drone mainly shows is as you send it up. This is a tall office block. It's probably the tallest building in this area.
Okay.
It's a good 15, 20. Let's call it 20 stories. Most of the other buildings around here are between 10 and 15. And yeah, your drone spots the air car parked on the top of the building. The driver appears to be leaning against the side, having a smoke, possibly
Right.
waiting for someone. You would surmise. And yeah, like most of the other buildings around here are not exactly set up to accommodate a vehicle. You can see that a roofed, like a helipad has basically been installed here in a
Right.
similar way to it was on the on the roof of Rapidel, except this is not hidden. Although by dint of the fact that it is taller than any of the other buildings,
It is by defact. It is de facto concealed.
yeah,
Right.
or less noticeable. Um, so yeah, you send the drone around, and while you're doing that, you're also running the search. It doesn't take you much to find that to find out that Tactical Medical Insights is a subsidiary of Trill Investments.
Well, there's a shocker.
They bill themselves as one of the leading medical investment companies at the cutting edge of funding medical research into life-saving tech for the good of New Europe.
Right.
They boast partnerships with a bunch of medical research companies, basically highlighting their good credentials. They are also they also claim to be a major contributor to Tactimed charitable endeavors.
Oh, good. So it's easy to funnel money between funny money. Easy to funnel money between them and Tactimib under the guise of charity.
Potentially, but
Potentially.
you wouldn't it wouldn't. It's not a surprise that companies like this have a like those mega corporations have a working relationship. Most of the megacorps have a working relationship with each other, unless they are directly competing. And obviously, medicine costs money,
Yeah.
or at least new research does. And whilst Tactimed are wealthy in their own right, it doesn't hurt for certain things to be cooperatively funded. And as I say, Trill Investments are the largest investment company in New Europe. They have their hands in, a good 50 to 60% of business ventures somewhere along the line.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, like you can find a brochure. They do seem to be, the very standard bright and bubbly investment company brochure.
Have there been any people going in and out of the building?
Not many. Yeah, there has been occasional,
Mhm.
but not many.
And the people going in and out, do they have a specific uniform? Is it just business? Is it?
It's a mix. You've seen a couple of people who look like maybe couriers or delivery people, and you've seen a couple of people in suits, and notably the people in suits have like badges or lanyards that you suspect are security passes or something similar on them, but obviously you haven't been able to get a good look at such. Obviously this has taken a little bit of time, and when you send your drone round for a second pass, you notice that a door on the roof has opened, and you spot Lamar
Mm-hmm.
strides across the rooftop
Right.
as the driver hastily finishes their sig, opens a door for them, and they get in.
As I see him, I am going to zoom the drone's view in and start snapping screenshots.
Okay. You see the air car take off. It it powers up its VTOL and heads up.
Okay.
Are the rest of you also looking at the feed or?
I'm happy to show people because I'm mirroring it to my tablet. So
Okay,
I'm keeping track of the feed
cool.
because I do have a heavy surveillance skill myself.
Sure.
So
Yes. So from Volt and Silver, can you both give me surveillance checks as well, please?
I don't.
I have an 8 in
either.
perception. So
Oh,
does
you
it still
do.
need a check?
Okay. No, that is fine.
And yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't have surveillance.
Okay. In which case, that's fine. Yeah, your eight is perfectly fine to see this.
when
Because
I when I was sending the drone up and having a poke around, did I see the raven anywhere?
no.
Your birds got lost.
Ash is fine.
Well, we did fly past. We did drive through that gang war. Is it currently pecking people's eyeballs out in the street?
You do note that the ground car. Actually, how much of a link do you have with Ash? There's no kind of like Is there any kind of telepathy with the meld?
I don't know for sure. I don't think so. And we don't have
Let me have a quick
the next
look
one hasn't
at-
been put on Kickstarter yet. So
No.
all right. Let's
see under meld skill if there is anything.
Yeah, I always got the impression it was like you have to, like
18, 55, and
permanently
85. What the heck?
Oh, okay. So no, you've only partnered. You haven't actually melded with them at the moment.
I melded with them to actually partner full on. I just I don't actively meld on a regular basis.
You're not in them in their
No.
mind at the moment.
I use them as a slightly smarter trained creature.
Yeah.
Because ravens and crows are hella fucking smart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. COVIDs are ridiculously. COVID, sorry, not COVID.
Okay.
I was gonna say that was
So I'm just everything's now wearing off, and I'm just now having a moment.
So a successful with a partnered animal, a successfully partnered animal will be highly obedient, far beyond the realms of traditional animal training. This is unique to ferals, obviously. The obedience extends itself to normally non-compliant animals as well, such as birds, rats, or exotic beasts.
Yeah.
So it's
no, like there's no
just
kind
a
of
really, really well-trained creature.
Yeah. But you did note that as you were setting off, that the car seemed to be heading in the opposite. The ground car seemed to be headed in the opposite direction to where you were going.
Yeah.
Okay, so Volt. As you are watching the feed of the air car taking off, you also notice a couple of doors down, like a garage door rattles open, and a van pulls out and drives past you at the same time.
Do I catch any of the faces in the van? Because as soon as I see the van coming, I'm going to pull up my cane to record. But do I see anything before I look at the recording?
You can probably get the face of the driver, but it is a like a bulky figure wearing a cap and glasses,
Mhm.
and dark glasses. There is nothing particularly noticeable about their face, other than this is uh, this is a van. And as it passes you, you see that the name or the livery on the side of the van says Nürnberger Medventures.
Hmm.
Just out of curiosity, can I drop a search in about them?
Mm-hmm.
What do they do? Who are they? Apart from presumably drive around the Nuremberg really, really fast, and I don't know, pick up the people who went into trees.
Yeah, Nürnberger Medventures. They are billed as a medical fieldwork company.
That's what I was right.
There isn't a huge amount of information about them, but they basically they basically seem to be offering their services as almost like forensics.
Right.
They offer forensic-esque services.
Don't suppose they've got any past projects listed.
That'd be
No,
fun.
as I said, there isn't a lot of information about them. They seem to operate on a B2B basis, primarily.
So we can't tell if they're new or have been around for a while.
You can, I mean, they're an established company. They have offices, primarily in kind of like this area of New Europe, and the area of New Europe that is basically Luxembourg, Western Germany.
Right.
They don't seem to be operate. They don't seem to operate, or they don't seem to have offices much further west than this.
Okay. This is probably going into territory where you're going, no, haven't looked at that. Is there an equivalent to Glassdoor in this day and age where employees can post anonymous reviews of their employer?
Not really.
Darn it. Okay, it was worth a try.
You may be able to. I'm just thinking. There's probably something.
What I was just wondering
Yeah.
is if they're B2B, effectively,
Mm-hmm.
either creating, wumping up a profile for another business as if looking to hire, or posing as as a wannabe employee, and looking for, what do they actually like to work for?
Right.
That sort of thing. Which I realise is so non-cyberpunk. I'm very, very sorry. It's people engineering. It works.
Yeah, I mean, it's biohacking on it's current day biohacking, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that sort of thing is not really present in this era.
That makes sense. That's fair enough.
Most people don't have either don't have that sort of time, or they are not social media networks don't exist in the same way as they do. I mean, there is Scanner, obviously, which is where Corax had found the original information from somebody who was in the area of the raid.
Yeah.
But that's more closely tied to the media like as an offshoot of the media business. Corporate, just hanging out, bad mouthing corporates is not something you tend to do online. Most people are not as online as they are currently, as our current society. If you are, it's in a similar way to CP Red. Media is primarily orientated towards news,
Right.
current affairs, propaganda, and getting by in this day and age. So some entertainment programs, some lifestyle programs.
Right. Okay. So we have a choice. Do we follow the air car or do we follow the van?
Or do you stay here and investigate the building?
Or do we stay here and investigate the building and hope that there's
another
someone
option.
beating the crap, having the crap kicked out of them in the basement?
Yeah, Silver doesn't want to go anywhere near any company that sounds even vaguely German and to do with medicine. Let's put it that way.
Right. So the van's out then.
At least from Silver.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Charlotte's suggesting air car. Them saying there might be a full route.
Yeah. Yeah, may as well then. Okay. We know this is here. I will stick a big X on the map so I can keep track of it for future reference. But I will recall my drone.
Okay.
I don't think there's going to be much more to be seen from the outside.
Yeah. Let me just zoom out the map then. Okay. Right. Okay. You clamber back into the van and start it up and start following the air car signal. Because you've basically done this straight away, you are pretty much on top of the thing. Can I get Silver? Can I get 2 consecutive drive checks from you, please?
3 and a 4.
Mm-hmm.
And a 9 and an 11.
Ooh, that second one is a fail, isn't it?
Yeah, I think my drive is a 7 or 8-7. Yeah.
Okay. As a reminder, you can use grit to lower dice scores should you so wish on a 1-for-1 basis.
I think I only have 3 grit left.
Okay. Let me just double check when grit refreshes. I think you may have
it was
full
in
grit.
session.
Yeah, I think it's session based.
Oh, okay. Oh, then I've got 4. Okay, yeah, I'll use 2 to bring it down, the 9 down to a 7 then.
Okay.
Because we just have to match our perception
Yes,
rating.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, then I'll spend the grit. Don't really want to mess up a roll right now.
Just double checking this. Yeah, during a game session. So yeah, it will refresh at the start of each session. Yeah.
Cool. Then I've spent 2 to lower it down to a 7 and 11.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's you drop back a little bit. You note that it's a little hard going. You're not following the same route back. Demon, you note that your route seems to be taking you west or southwest-ish, rather than back in the same way you came. And we got there, so can I get another drive check then, please?
Mm-hmm. 1 and a 5.
Okay. It's at this point that Silver, you in particular, notice that you seem to be following the same route as the van.
Ah.
They seem to be more or less kept in sight.
Okay. Which would speak to person transfer and the execs not wanting to travel with the meat, so to speak.
So, does this change your operations, or are you going to carry on?
I think we're pretty much going to have to carry on following the air car, aren't we? If they're going to the same, if they
If
are
they're going to the same
van.
place, we have two options of getting
Yeah.
to where we're going. They might actually be leading us right to where we want to be instead of having to look through all those other buildings and getting caught.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we've committed now.
Yeah. Really, really wish we could get a tracker onto the van. Not sure how we'd do that.
Make a tracker shooting gun, a little tracker full of shits.
I know, but not with what I've got in the back of the van.
I don't use guns.
I'm having a Spider-Man moment, you know, epoxy resin and little tracker. Thwip. Be the way to go. Actually, a catapult would be easiest instead of a gun, and they're silent.
Sorry, I just need to check something. Okay. Silver, can I have a drive check, please?
8 and 9. I'll spend 1 more grit to get that 8 down to a 7.
Okay.
So I've got 1 left.
Sure. All right. After about 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so of driving, you notice that the van starts to speed up.
Have they
Okay.
noticed us following them?
Drop back a little. If we're assuming that the air car's going to the same place as the van, we don't have to sit behind the van.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought that's what we were doing, was just following the air car to begin with.
Yeah, but but this does mean that we're pretty much logically going to be on the same path as the van, because
Right.
they're also going to
I didn't
the same
realize
place.
that we'd gotten and stayed too close to the other van, though.
Yeah. If there aren't that many vehicles on the road, I think that's going to show. So if we can pull off and take an alternate route, I can carry on tracking where the air car's going, and hopefully then we can rejoin a bit further back.
Okay. Drive check, please, Silver.
2 and a 7.
Okay. So you're basically going to try and find a slightly different route.
Yeah, is this going to be a surveillance?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm mentally laying a ruler across there. Okay, if it's flying in that direction to that direction, we're going to go that way. Basically, it's a diversion of the M25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So add one to your die rolls for.
Oh, thanks for that. In which case, I am awfully glad for that too.
Okay. Yeah. You manage to calculate a slightly different route that will keep you going in the right way.
I'd like to aim parallel, basically, to the route of the van.
Yeah. Okay. This does make your tracking of the air car a little bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ask for any subsequent surveillance checks, it is a +1 to your die rolls for that.
Okay.
So you're going to go on a parallel route. You take that. Actually, to be fair, that's pretty much all you really need to do. Okay. So yes, one more drive check from you, Silver.
1 and a 5.
1 and a 5. Okay. Yeah, you seem to be keeping up with them pretty well, and your direction mapping has you going in the direction of Paris. You've been driving for a good long while now, through various suburbs and districts of.
We're just sightseeing.
Yeah, like Silver has. I mean, you've now been driving for a couple of hours.
Americans do it all the time. It's fine.
And you are circling round Paris to the north, and as you are tracking the air car, you see a demon. You're the first to notice this because you are also following the map. You notice that you are approaching the district of Izan. Which you note is where the original raid took place.
Oh, good. They're going to be sending forensics to the site of the original raid. So they think there's something to be found there. Which means they picked up Orion expecting to find something on Orion, and it wasn't. So they're assuming it's at the raid site.
That's a possibility.
Is my leaping to conclusions.
I wouldn't put it past them to have also just stashed Orion somewhere nearby because it was easier.
Okay, we know where the raid happened, don't we?
You do.
Mm-hmm.
What's the fastest route from here to where the raid happened? And can we beat their van there?
Given that you turned off and are on a parallel route,
you
probably can't beat the van there unless you really gun it.
That would be really noticeable. We don't want to come in noticeable.
True. No, we don't want to be noticed. Sorry, the smile says something else, doesn't it? I think we need to watch them and find out what they're looking for.
Yes, we do. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they find it and start taking it away, then we can ram their van off the road into a ditch and steal it.
Sure. I think it would be a lot easier if they're searching for things to disable their van in some way so that when they try to leave, they can't. Much easier than ramming.
This is true.
Okay.
And more subtle.
And as your van pulls into...
What is the fuel at the moment these days? Is it still petrol? Is it still
that's a
electrical?
I've been wondering that this entire time.
Yeah,
I've been
thinking we should fill up.
What am I doing? It's fission transducer.
Of course it is. Sorry.
So there is no fuel per se.
You can drive basically forever, but there's nowhere to go.
Well, there's a metaphor for life.
There's metaphor for life in a cyberpunk dystopia. Hey,
If
fish.
it's fission, does that mean that if you say cut the line to the coolant pump, they would break down because they would be in trouble?
I mean, probably. You know what? This is a good time for us to take a break.
I agree.
As you
I
pull
agree.
into the district of Izan. So we're
Okay.
going to take a quick break here, folks. Refresh our drinks, our snacks, stretch our legs. I would suggest you do the same as well. And we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes with the second part of our adventure. Life in a Cyberpunk Dystopia is the name of your sister's Mercy cover band. Nice fish.
That works.
Okay. Take care, folks. We will see you back in a few minutes. Bye.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back, folks, to the next part of episode 2 of chapter 2 of Connect the Dots, an ongoing Gaia Complex campaign. When we left, our protagonists have just arrived in the district of Izan, following an air car with the target of one of their current jobs, and also a van belonging to Nürnberger MedVentures, a forensics team. Forensics may be in inverted commas there. So, you have pulled in to the district where the original raid that led to the capture of Orion and Rigel took place. Your directions would appear to be putting you in, if not at, then at least in the vicinity of the warehouse that Sebastian has told you that the ambush happened. And that would be the because I remember I told you which company it belonged to.
However, somewhere I had forgotten it was a warehouse, and my brain was saying, no, it happened on the street. And I said, no.
No, it happened at a warehouse belonging to Durantic Chemicals.
That was it.
There was a lot of wooden weapons being used too.
Yeah, they came
that,
loaded for use against vampires.
Yes.
Loaded for bear, as it were.
Yes.
So,
Loaded for bears.
what do you want to do, or how do you wish to approach this? You can tell that the tracker on the air car has stopped moving.
Right.
Where at around the warehouse?
Pinch zoom.
Okay, so you can't see it from where you are. Well, actually, it depends. How close to the warehouse do you want to park?
I think we need at least a couple of buildings in between us, and we should walk up, because vehicle, especially if we got spotted earlier, is going to be really noticeable.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
for sure.
If they hadn't got nervous about us before, we'd probably have been okay. But yeah, since they got nervous about us, we should probably give it a block.
Okay.
Round the corner.
Cool. So from where you are, you can't see the building that your tracker is telling you that the air car is parked.
Right. Can air cars also drive? Do they have fold-out wheels? Are we talking James Bond / Thunderbirds?
Here we aren't.
Right.
You suspect that a lot of the drive chassis has been converted or removed for the propellant, the VTOL engine, basically.
Okay, so it does use VTOL. It doesn't use some sort of hover technology.
All aircraft around here basically has to use VTOL.
Okay.
Although in this instance it's slimline, as opposed to it actually being an aircraft where the VTOL thrust engines are like spread out along the wings. This is
basically where the wheel wells are.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I can't imagine it can really do well really close to the ground then.
No.
So they can't even pretend to be driving along the highway.
No. You also anybody who has drive or pilot basically those of you who are tech minded would surmise that it also handles really badly. That it is probably, for as much as it looks like it's probably not a smooth ride.
It is extravagance for extravagance's sake.
Yes.
It's extravagance, but it also takes you away from the road.
Yeah.
Which is basically its selling point.
Yeah.
That is, if these were on commercial sale.
Yeah.
But a single person or two person flying craft would do the same thing and be much more easily controlled.
Can you imagine an exec in a microlight? Because I'm now having an image.
Yes, I can.
Can you imagine an exec who doesn't work for a tech bro company?
Okay, fair. Well, aren't all of these companies tech bro companies?
Not if they're owned by vampires. That's more tech great-great-grandfather companies.
That's just goth tech.
Your Tech
Yes.
Crow company.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
Techromancy. Oh, hang on a minute.
There's an
No.
idea.
All right, give me a mo. I need to write that down.
I can't imagine a vampire-owned company coming to a fight with wooden weapons. That's.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can see one of the starts with a V. The monstrous ones doing it.
the Vril. No, the
Vril.
the Norn are the monstrous ones.
Okay, the Norn.
Norl, sorry, Norl.
The
Vril are your standard everyday vampires. He said, casually being everyday vampires.
Yeah.
Well,
everyday
they're-
vampires instead of Sunday best.
the Vril tend to be far more social and
They're a Bane
political about
vampires.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are much more sanguine, pun intended.
Did you seriously just say that?
It's a lot easier to access blood when people think you look like them.
True.
Tangentially, also, isn't techromancy basically the Necrons from Warhammer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kinda.
Basically.
Kinda. Also, Slay Industries.
Yeah.
God, my brain has just shut
Yeah,
down on me completely.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Fishy will probably be able to tell us.
Yes. Fish. Who grows the? Oh, I wasn't thinking vampires. Common or garden vampires. If you can't find common or garden vampires, shop bought is fine. Fish. Who are the guys who grow the dirty great gore cannons? Help me out here. After they've been through the white. Oh, sorry.
While we wait for that, yes. So,
Yes.
yeah, from street level at least, you cannot see the top of the building.
Thank you. Neckanthropes.
You
Thank you.
You cannot see the top of the building that the air car is ostensibly parked on. However, triangulating it with the other information you have, you suspect that it is a building or another warehouse that is at least adjacent to the one you have been told where the ambush happened.
Yeah.
So likely also owned by Durantech.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So yeah, we know where they are. I think time to abandon the
We should lock it up for the next person to actually have a challenge. It's only fair.
Have I got a grenade?
Do you have a grenade? That is an interesting question.
I'm just wondering. I'm literally looking to see if I could afford a grenade. I have a feeling that since I went with the disposable handgun, no, I couldn't afford a grenade. Although I am tempted to, if I had more than one knife, I would be tempted to leave my taser knife wired into the back doors of the van, just for a nice surprise for someone. No, I can't, unfortunately. Okay, take our gay then and head out onto the street, looking as casual can be.
Sure. This is, as I mentioned before, Izan is a industrial district. There are three primary companies that operate in this area. Those being Hansel Refining, Durantech Chemicals, and Synthesex.
Ooh, sex shop.
Not quite. They're manufacturers of pleasure drones.
Are we talking the full-on real doll Mark IIs?
Not quite.
Aren't
But
they
they
in the second book, if I remember rightly?
They are.
This is, well, the company that is in the second book, Hardware 2119, available now from all good LGSs or Drive Through RPG. And
Yep.
we are not sponsored
You know-
by Hansel, but
We're
you know,
not sponsored by Hansel if Hansel wants to
Yes.
talk to us, however.
Hardware would be an excellent name for a dirty magazine. Like,
almost certainly has been used. No, the company.
I was going to say, I'm not Googling that.
Yeah. The company which is listed in the Hardware 2119 book is called Climaxim.
That's
Oh
the
God, that's not
one.
helping.
And they are the sex-based megacorp based out of Paris, Paris-Zone.
course
They
they are.
produce the contraceptive that you can buy and install as cyberware.
Yes.
That's where I remember the name from.
Yeah. Synthesex are a small competitor, basically, to Climaxim, or want to be, yeah. But they specialize, as I said, in you know, yeah.
Oh,
They don't go for the rest of the marital aids business.
Uh-huh. Right.
How many more euphemisms can we use here?
Yeah. So, well, I think Hardware's given up on
Yeah.
me.
But yeah, no. So yeah, Synthesex are a small competitor to Climaxim.
Right.
But yeah, those are the three companies that have primary operations. Obviously, there are other smaller companies and, you know, adjuncts and offshoots of the probably subsidiaries of the megacorps here as well.
Yeah.
But yes, and I'd say a warehouse belonging to Durantic Chemicals was where the original meet was supposed to happen, and instead turned out to be an ambush.
Sorry, my brain gave me the wrong kind of meat there, and I was thinking,
Yeah, understandable given the.
yeah, sorry. Off that train of thought, on to another line.
Indeed. So,
Yes.
how do you wish to approach matters here? Or what do you want to do?
I think we need to get closer on foot
We do,
and
yes.
actually find a building that's across the street that's higher than the warehouse, maybe like we did with the first run, and get to the top and monitor from there, because we'd be hidden, but we would also not have very quick access to the ground in order to mess with their van. So finding their van would be the first thing we need to do. We need to do it stealthily. So
Okay. Who is doing that, or are you doing it as a group?
Who looks most industrial?
I mean, does the arm count as industrial?
I was
or
going to
more
say,
like-
Silver, to be honest. It's probably you. I'm in heels. I do not look industrial.
I mean, I
No,
have
I'm-
got big trench coat.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm currently in street clothes, and I think I do actually have the best stealth of the group.
I think you two being stealthy and basically trying to look low key. Worst case, if I feck up a stealth roll, if I'm behind you lot, or you know, behind and across the street or whatever. Worst case, I'll give them something to look at that's not you lot. And I can let you be beige and be inconspicuous. Because I don't think Demon's capable of inconspicuous.
I can always hide the cyber arm as well if I want.
Yeah.
But then it's not exactly.
I mean, presumably.
It's not really a big deal, is it, having a cyber arm?
No,
No,
not
no.
massively. Like, I don't look that much like other cyberdocs if you look at like the art in the books, because they all have like the crazy rigging where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
out your shoulder,
Yeah.
out your hips.
You're quite low key, aren't you?
Mhm.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Apart from the permanent hemmed hole in the elbow of your trench coat.
It's usually up to the shoulder, so the arm is like just out.
That makes sense. I just know I now got this vision of you being incredibly stylish with the trench coat thrown over one shoulder like a cape.
Yeah, but he doesn't know he is. He's like the opposite of demon.
Yeah.
So, are you proceeding as a group to try and stealth your way around?
I think those two separately,
Mhm.
to me, and we head in the same direction, but there's no need to go en masse.
Okay.
Especially if they know that if they saw us on camera, they know that we're in a group with X number of people.
Okay.
We split it down. They're not necessarily looking for a couple and, for want of a better term, and a solo person.
Sure. Okay.
Part of the stealth blending in act is going to be pretending to have small talk.
Okay.
And by pretending, well, we'll actually have small talk with Silver, asking questions about how, the whole CyberDoc stuff works, putting things together, basically to get animation from the conversation from Silver's side.
You're not going for. So, what about the last sports ball results?
Oh no.
How loud are you talking?
It's just a contained conversation, so probably like this.
Okay.
Between the two of us.
Sure. Okay. Can I have stealth checks then from all three of you, please?
This is why I didn't want to give you guys some heavy drag.
So what does underline, what does the specialized skill mean? I forget.
The specialization means that you can re-roll one of your dice for free. That isn't showing
unless it's a 12.
Yeah.
Right. And my reflex is a 7, so is it still going to be a roll? Is it
yes,
difficult?
I am. This is a relevant roll from all of you. Please.
Okay, so reflexes. That was my next question.
I passed. I got a 4 and an 11.
Okay.
Oh god, I got to pass
5 and a
both.
6.
I don't have the skill. I need to pass with both dice.
Correct.
Don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Otherwise, it's gonna be fine. Oh, grit. What does it do again?
So grit lowers both die results on a 1-for-1 basis.
Excellent. Right. Okay.
Do you have enough grit to lower it enough?
It lowers both of them at the same time.
Yes.
Thank the gods.
Unless you have a 12.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Right then, I'm blowing 3 points of grit.
Ooh.
Wow.
Because I rolled 2 10s.
Oof.
So I'm dropping 3 points of grit to get me down to the 7 that I needed for a pass.
Okay. Excellent.
4 points if I need to go under my
No.
reflexes.
It's equal to or under is fine.
Right, okay.
So
2 10s, for goodness sake. Really?
The system would be a notch more difficult if it required under and not equal to or under. When you're only operating on effectively a D10 system.
Yeah. I was just having a nasty moment there.
All three of you managed to make yourselves unnoticed with to varying degrees of success. And you, between the three of you, you're able to figure out that the van with the Nürnberger Medventures team came in is basically parked outside the main gate, or is basically parked adjacent. Sorry, is parked adjacent to the warehouse that is, we'll call it the of interest warehouse. And you can what Silver and Demon also noted. Silver and Volt also notice is that there is one armored figure basically standing next to the van.
Oh, that's easy
You
enough.
can also tell that the back or the side door of the van is open, but you can't see into it unless you got closer. And also the door to the warehouse is open. As to how many people or such are around, you don't get that on this pass, basically. You would need to do more investigating.
Do we actually see the air car from this vantage?
No, you can't.
I am going to bear off around the side of the warehouse. Somewhere I can find a little corner and get my drone out.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to find a kind of like alley between two other warehouses, not too far away. That said, as you are looking for that and getting yourself into a position, you do hear booted footsteps in nearby streets stroke alleys.
Oh, good. Goody, goody gumdrops.
Silver and Volt, whilst you cannot see the aircraft from your position on the ground, you do pick out a couple of warehouses or buildings which have external ladders that you could access the rooftops with to potentially give you a better vantage.
Are the ladders out of sight of the van and the person? What do you think, Silver? Should we get high ground?
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth doing so.
Yeah.
Okay. So the two of you are taking up position on a nearby warehouse, and Demon is ensconced in an alley with fiddling with the drone.
Yep.
Okay. Right. The two of you make it to the warehouse roof without incident. And yeah, you don't get. Unfortunately, you don't have a brilliant view of the area, partly because of the nature of the warehouses and such. But the target, the warehouse of interest, you can see the warehouse adjacent to it does have a flat roof on which the air car is parked.
Remind me. We wanted to interrogate Lamar, but they want Lamar dead.
You have got a contract for Lamar to be killed.
Yeah.
Right. But we also want to interrogate him in case he has more information, if he hasn't just led us to Orion.
Yeah, we basically want to interrogate him, find out what he knows, and then kill him.
Yeah. How what's the access routes from here look like to getting to that roof with the car?
You can map a couple of routes. The easiest one would definitely take you in view of anybody on the streets around it who is looking up, or if there is anyone on a nearby rooftop. If you wanted to take a more circuitous route that kept you to shadows and would be unseen from the streets, you could do so, but that would involve more scrambling, and that would be a more athletic route.
Reflexes and athletics, yeah. Okay. It's weird that I have an athletics of 7 and my description has a club foot. Like
you've grown. You've
I'm
grown
used to it.
You know how to work with your disability.
Yeah. And without it, you'd be looking at maybe 8 or 9, possibly.
So, all right. Here's my thinking, and I'll send this message to keep Demon in the loop as well.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is
Oh yeah, I was going
to
to text you what I was doing. I wasn't
Yeah.
just going to leave you hanging as to.
I figured texting would be safer than radios at the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that I could sneak over there, find a means of knocking out the driver, and basically becoming the driver.
Oh, that's a trope.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
From what we've witnessed surveillance-wise, size-wise, how do I compare to the driver?
How tall are you? Well,
I think we put her at like 5'9", 5'10". She's fairly tall.
You're probably about an inch or so taller, but not enough of a difference because the driver is quite slight.
All right.
Probably not enough. Probably at a distance, your silhouettes might be reasonably comparable.
And one of the times
you're not too dissimilar in height.
Right.
And do the rich really look at their drivers, or do they just look at the uniforms?
From what we've surveilled when they interact, because the first time we watched, the driver never came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the driver came out in the second one. The driver only came out on the third one because they were taking a smoke break because it was supposed to take longer. And then they rushed to get inside. So I don't think they actually interact. I can't drive, but I can try. And we could just kidnap this motherfucker.
You have just been watching Silver drive for X number of miles.
I was technically enjoying the scenery.
Pilot aircraft is an advanced skill, so it can't be used untrained, I don't believe.
Well, maybe after Silva's got stealth, so maybe we can get Silver and Emmy over there.
Can Silver fly? Can Silver fly?
Do you have a rocket launcher on your arm, or a rocket to power yourself into the sky?
I've got a taser and a torch. I mean,
here's a question: are the cars basically Bluetooth enabled or local equivalent there too?
Oh no, you can still attempt it even if you are unskilled. It just means that any failure during an advanced skill test is considered to be a critical failure, regardless of Dice's actual.
All right.
I've got
how on board with this plan?
I've got pilot aircraft. I could talk you through it.
That could potentially help. I don't know if that would lower the difficulty any, but hopefully. All right.
Sorry.
Do we want to do this?
You had a question as well.
I was just wondering if I could access it via computer network and remote pilot. Could I take? What would it take to take over the computer?
You would need to have access to it first.
Do you have a wireless chip to be able to plug in for you, and then you could take control through that?
I have a feeling I think my rig may have a chip by it. So give me a minute.
Because if there's a slot for me to put a chip into that has Bluetooth enabled, blah blah blah, for you to be able to access that to hack the car with.
I have a finger jack if I can get down there too. But
that said, you are unfamiliar with what programming is necessary for an air car. So
you've got to love it when the GM's trying desperately not to say no, you can't do that. You have to respect the graft, to be honest.
No, as I say, it is not out of the question. There are ways of doing it. However, you will generally need to have access to the software first before, or find some way of having access to the vehicle before you know how to jack it.
Are we on smartphones?
Yes, to a certain extent.
I'm just wondering about using. You just literally plug your phone in. That's a universal connection. Last I checked, you could literally plug your phone in and use that as the radio comms to let me link to your phone, network to your phone. I'd still have the fun and games of trying to work out the programming on the fly.
Yes. If you were trying to do a remote hack like that, it would definitely be more complicated and would attract modifiers, but it is not impossible.
I'm just looking at the hacking advanced, which is a specialist skill for me. So that could happen.
Yeah, advanced just means whether or not you just alters the difficulty modifiers or the values you need depending on whether you are.
I know
whether you are skilled or unskilled in that. It's slightly different to other systems in that respect.
Yeah.
Silver, you got those.
Guide means that the Gaia is written in that nothing is unattemptable. It's just
hard.
Yeah.
Silver, you've still got those 2 sedative vials, right?
Yes. I forgot we had those.
Yeah.
And we do have the truth serum to use on Lamar to make the interrogation go quicker before we murder him. I mean, revenge upon him.
Well, is it revenge if it's someone else?
We're being paid to do the revenge.
So you could knock him out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking sneaking up on the driver, knocking the driver out.
Yeah.
Then when Lamar shows up, knocking Lamar out, and then we fly away.
Driver can go in the boot. Yeah, that works.
I like that idea.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. While you are pondering that,
you are now Jason Statham.
While you are pondering that, Drut, you wanted to send up your drone.
Yeah, I wanted to have a look around with my drone. The drone has better sensors than I do. The surveillance drone I have is in the not very big category. Let me just confirm that how not very big it is. Because drones, I have a hell of a time determining what size they are. Entry level, robust, highly reliable camera drone. Okay, if that's the camera's probably not much bigger than that.
Yeah.
So we're talking
we're
talking the Western Drake Sec D, are we?
No, we're talking THD Surveillance S.
Right.
It's the one without the gun attachments, correct?
Yeah. I wanted it purely for looky rather than shooty.
It should have a very low profile.
Yeah, on a smart, compact-looking chassis. So you're probably looking at something that is about what?
Yes.
Yay big?
It's probably not much more than 30 centimeters across, isn't it?
It's probably somewhere between a foot, 45 to 60 centimeters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean that's the full 2 feet. So.
Yeah, so somewhere between 1.5 foot and 2 foot.
Yeah.
When it comes to the surveillance aspect, the thing that would make it heavier and need the broader fans is simply because of the weight of the transmission equipment.
But there's also, the smaller, more compact ones also will have like noise dampening tech as well.
This is the same high quality construction you'd expect from a THD unit costing 3 times as much. Yay! I know because I looked at the Spy X and then I cried.
Are these drones powered by the fusion as well?
No, well, actually, they will be they will have small fission transducers powering the fans.
They've got fish and chips.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that one.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
That was actually beautiful.
Oh, that's a point, Fish. If I had the software, I could just hack the pilot.
Wouldn't you need that would be
That would
the
be biohacking.
biohacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have biohacking. I wish I could do
That's a
biohacking.
whole other class, isn't it?
Mm.
It
Yep.
is, yes. It's something I would very much like to do. I want to do both.
Mhm.
Yes. So we have options. Let's concentrate initially on the dispose of driver, or rather parking the driver out of sight, hitting E to hide the body, and you nicking his kit.
As Fish said, you don't need to be that class. They're just better at it. It's also because of the way the system is written. It's the costs are
Yeah.
double if you are not a biohacker for the software.
Yeah. So so the software would be. Of course, you can create your own, but then you're getting into whole weird areas.
You're going from expensive to exorbitant.
Yes.
Hey, if we hit the jackpot at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, I am
Entirely
perfectly
feasible.
happy because being able to do both meat and metal would suit Demon right down to the ground.
It just depends on, like, to do that. You just have to tell me the sorts of scores you want to go for.
Yeah, but I can't do
I will
that yet.
quite happily provide you an opportunity.
Let's see how well we continue with our heist aspect before we try heisting a lot of money.
I mean, chapter 3 could be all the riches you want.
Yeah, trust you as far as I could comfortably spit, Shard. Okay, let's do this. Let's send the drone in and see what it can see, which is damn sight more than me.
You send your drone up.
And any windows? Skylight windows.
There are a few on the warehouse in question. There are also this one will be skylight. So you're just doing a round surveillance.
Yeah.
Okay. Your cameras basically pick up movement in the streets around the warehouse, or the alleys around the warehouse. You can't make out exactly because it is dark. You're going by motion. You're going by apparent motion.
Yeah.
You can pick out about three people dressed similarly to the guard or to the person standing by the van in the streets around the warehouse.
Right.
They seem to be moving slowly. You would need to send the drone down lower if you wanted to find out exactly what they were up to or what they are doing.
Okay, and somebody's got a motorbike driving through their living room.
Yeah, that's just the street noise in the game.
Yeah.
Flying around the warehouse. As I say, you pick out. You can spot the air car on the adjacent building. What you notice is that there is a ladder down from that to street level.
Right.
And like peering the camera in through the skylight, you can make out at least 4 other people within the warehouse itself moving around.
Okay. So, I will text to the others that it's lively at the ground level, and the numbers that I have roughly identified, just so
Can you keep eyes in the sky while we're making our way to the backside of the shadows?
Yeah, absolutely. I can make sure that I give you heads up in case anyone starts heading in your direction.
Awesome. You ready for the Silver?
Yep.
Okay. Let me just. So, what route do you wish to take?
The most circuitous, safe, shadowy route.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, because of your skill set, would Silver be able to identify cyberware that's hidden, but knows where visually, skin-wise, and clothes-wise where things might show up, in case we have to deal with that when we come up against the driver? Is that something that Silver would be capable of doing?
I would think so. I have like medical and electronics. I mean, I guess things like my surveillance isn't there, so it depends on where it falls.
Fair enough.
Whether medical is like enough.
Okay, so we're sneaking in the shadows.
You're
like
sneaking in the
vampires.
shadows. Okay, you're going to take a more circuitous route. Okay, can I have... I am going to need a stealth check from both of you. I will also need... Let me just double check what skill it is. I will also need an athletics check from both of you.
Oh
because,
god, I don't
because
have
you
athletics.
will need to cross certain gaps without the aid of a handy, board, or unless of course you wanted to go back down to street level, find a ladder back up to the other side, but that also potentially means that you may run into
more people
persons on the streets.
Is there any way I can assist with the athletic rolls for Silver if I go first? Or if I try to help? No, I can't do brawn because that would be launching.
So I passed the stealth, and what does athletics come under?
It runs
reflexes.
Reflexes.
Oof.
You got this, Silver. Double ones.
I mean, if you were to elucidate a plan or such to make the crossing the gap easier,
How heavy is Silver?
I mean, he's
Ish.
about 6'1" and has some muscle. So
Probably, I know you guys don't do pounds, but
we can cope.
in my head that'd be
do.
about 200 to 250 in weight.
Probably more on like the 250 range. Although, yeah,
I personally am 230 pounds, but I am very dense when it comes to people around me. So
Nope.
yes,
No,
yes,
open goal, leaving that.
Yep.
No, not taking it.
I mean, 250 pounds is closer to 18 stone. So I don't think, I doubt Silver would be that heavy.
How much of you is cyberware?
just the arm.
So that's not too bad.
No, because I mean,
Yeah, it needs to be light enough for the body to actually be able to hold it up.
Yeah. So maybe more on the 200 end rather than the 250 end. Then.
Yeah.
Not that I picture
Alright.
him as being super muscly, but like, there's not much fat on him.
So
yeah,
So,
my brawn-
14 stone sounds more appropriate.
my brawn is 4, so I can try to catch your hand as you're jumping across to pull you, but I don't know that I'd be able to help much. I'll try.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe, yeah.
Because my athletics is fine too. I rolled double 4s.
I got a 4 and a 1 for my athletics roll.
Okay.
Oh well, so
Excellent.
not an issue then.
Yeah.
You
Matrix your way across that.
You managed to
He is
both
very Matrix.
managed to make your way to at least the roof on which the air car is parked.
Now there are obstructions up here on the roof, like air ventilation things, and
there is one that you are currently hiding behind.
sweet. All right.
You have managed to make it here unnoticed, it would appear.
I'm gonna stick my the head of my cane around the corner and shoot some video to see if the guy's standing outside the vehicle?
No, there is nobody outside of the vehicle. What you are seeing from this angle is the rear of the vehicle.
Just looking at my. No, I have like no perception-y things, but a lockpick and drive.
Hey, drive is important.
Yeah, apparently so. And I did very
Lockpick
well.
has been important in previous sessions.
Mm.
I mean, this vehicle is definitely pilot aircraft rather than drive, but
Sorry.
Okay, how
so
do we get driver out of car?
Can I like? Is there any other buildings that are like as tall as the one we're on near us?
yeah, like most of the warehouses in this area are of similar height.
I don't know how much. So my hand torch is very, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could catch like a mirror near him to kind of like distract him as a like, ooh, shiny, look over here. I actually have no idea if it's daytime even.
Well, I mean, as much as daytime varies from nighttime in terms of,
it's pretty gloomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can either of you act?
Oh yeah.
Could one of you act like you're drunk and start telling him to get off your roof?
It's a warehouse roof, though.
No, I don't think that one's gonna.
There is just to go back to your previous question, Sergil. There are probably reflective surfaces around that you could shine your light on. How well anybody within the car could see it, you're not so sure. But there are reflective surfaces that you could do that.
Given that this car is a flying car, does it actually have mirrors like on the side of it that are visible?
Cameras?
It doesn't have.
Can we
It
see?
doesn't have wing mirrors.
Can we see any like discs on the backside where cameras might be
Give me
for like backup cameras?
Give me yeah, give me a surveillance check.
That'll be 7 and a 6 under 8.
If there are, they are definitely going to be internal to the vehicle. You cannot see anything external that would indicate the presence of a camera. That doesn't mean that there isn't one internally facing outwards,
Right.
but there is nothing on the chassis that would indicate an external camera.
If you can get close enough to the car to act quickly, I could land the drone loudly on his roof.
See, I'd been considering something like that, like dropping something from the drone.
Yeah, I was just thinking it would be literally just I could bonk onto the roof of the car, just a vertical straight down.
I'm also not sure how much this guy actually cares to pay attention to what's going on, because he seemed pretty relaxed when he was smoking.
He would be, but also if something thumps on the roof of my car and I'm driving corpo types, I probably would want to check it's not a grenade.
Possibly. But I mean, I'm okay with this idea. I'd also considered that it might make them skittish.
But it's the sort of thing that he might stick his head get out to investigate rather than calling in as a security problem straight away.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If you're okay with that, okay. I will. Do you want a pilot drone roll for precision?
Well, so from where you're just going to do it with from where your current positions are. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't see a path. I mean, even if I did the army crawl along the ground, I don't know that could get me closer. I could try it.
You could try it because, as I say, there are no wing mirrors.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and stealth. Actually, first I'm going to grab one of the sedatives from Silver.
Yeah. I think if we have
Shove
one,
it into the foot as they step out of the car.
yeah.
Yeah, I will try to army crawl to the driver's side of the vehicle and take that with me.
Yeah, Silver, you explained that this is an intramuscular sedative.
So, butt, bicep, okay.
Calf.
I was
Calf.
thinking that, yeah. I mean, if you're under the car,
Yeah.
under the car, you could quite happily, as he got out, just stab him in the leg, and you never even have to face him.
Actually, is there space under the car?
How
Does it land on?
It's got to land on something, because otherwise the engines are going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It deploys landing struts that keep the thrusters off the roof surface.
Definitely not going to hide under thruster, but
no, but there is potentially a path under the vehicle that you could take.
Big heroes us.
It's going to be a tight fit, and it isn't elegant under there. Like literally the
I'm not wearing my nice clothes. I'm wearing my street clothes. It's fine.
The landing is literally a square pylon that is a couple of about 2-3 inches square that lands down at 4 points. To keep it, I mean, what should we say? It keeps it about 7-8 inches off the surface.
At least we're keeping to our bathroom ambush style.
Yeah. Yes, this is in keeping with the people who hid in the loo.
Okay. Can I have a stealth check at +2, please?
What does +2 do to me?
It means each of the die rolls has a +2 added to it.
Oh, okay.
And I just need to get the guy's awareness.
That will be a 6 and a 7. So that's 2 stuff. Math. I'm quite glad at this point that I did specialize in stealth because it allowed me to re-roll an 11.
Good on that. Right. You managed to army crawl your way under the vehicle. You do not believe that you have been seen.
Great. I type in position, have it out, ready for leg at door.
I look at the sentence, so I go, okay. Right, I will shift my drone then, and because it's relatively light, it's going to have to go down with a bit of a thud.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to have to judge the weight of the drone versus the
Don't break it.
No, it's got to be at that sweet spot between not breaking it and this thing is designed to. She's learned how to fly it quietly.
Okay.
It should get a little bit of a bounce so you can take back off again too.
Oh yeah, I'm just basically planning on lunar landing this.
Sure. What's your perception?
My perception is oh god, pilot drone is under reflexes.
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought I was looking at pilot aircraft.
Yeah, my reflexes are 7.
Your reflexes are 7. In order to do this precisely without damaging the drone, I'm going to ask for a roll.
Okay, straight roll or penalty?
Straight roll.
Okay. Well, that 10 can fuck off into the sun, but the 3 is fine.
Okay, that is fine. You judge it right, and you bounce the you bounce the thing with a very audible thump, and there's a few moments, and Volt, you hear a what the fuck? You hear. Well, first you hear the sound of a window descending.
Shit.
And then a few seconds, and then you hear the sound of a lock disengaging.
That's
The
better.
door swings open, and a leg comes down. Out
And give
of
it just enough time for them to put their weight on their leg so that they're falling outward when they feel the thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to jab it right into the calf. And
Okay, what sort of attack roll would this be?
I have no idea.
This has got to be a melee weapons.
Yeah.
I think.
It's gonna have to be. Do you have melee?
Nope.
Unless you have medicine of any kind.
I do have medical.
You do have medical, don't you? Let me just check what
I might be inclined to do medical, but base it on reflexes.
Actually, melee weapons is already under reflexes. I'm going to say.
Sneak attack. Oh my god, I'm the monster under the car.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you are indeed Jason Voorhees.
Can you give me a medical check, but you're rolling against your reflexes rather than your brains?
Yeah.
So I'm using 7, but it's a medical check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rather, you're able to do this because you have medical.
Right.
But the target number you are looking at is not your brain score; it's your reflexes score. Yeah.
Okay.
There is a +1 modifier on this.
Okay, so that's 3 and 4. So
Okay.
success.
Show
That
off.
is fine.
I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Nice. With
I feel like she's done this before.
describe how you do this.
So basically, as soon as I notice that there's more weight on the leg, she's going to jab the needle into the back, up into the calf, and reach around the other side of the leg where the ankle is and pull forward so that they can't get back in and engage the lock
Okay.
before they fall asleep.
Right.
And possibly even trip forward.
Mm-hmm.
Which should be hopefully an indicator to Silver to get there quickly to assist with helping them pass the heck out.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know how strong these sedatives are.
Oh, Silver knows. Silver knows that these are decent.
Okay.
And they are fast acting.
Mm.
I'm just trying to see if there is any form of resistance save. I don't think there is.
You know,
I'm just going to do straight against that. Okay. Ooh! Ooh! Right. You jab it into the back of their leg, and you feel the sedative being pumped into. There's a stumble, and then there's a crack, and the figure slumps to the ground.
what?
And you, as you pull yourself out to take a closer look, there is a large bleeding gash on their forehead. They basically crack their head against the door frame, the car door frame.
I'm gonna immediately rip off a portion of the jacket that I'm wearing and put it underneath the blood before it starts dripping on the ground.
Yeah.
And wrap it around the wound so that there's no blood.
So yeah,
it's kind of a giveaway.
So you're looking at somebody who is knocked out 2 ways.
Oh man,
he's gonna have a headache.
Well,
all right.
Yeah, suffice to say, I rolled a 12.
Oh God.
That was not intended, but
No, but well done.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Whatever
so
works.
gonna check out the vehicle. Where spaces are to hide? Like, is there a boot or is there space?
There is a boot with a bit of Tetrising. You could probably fit him in there. It's the kind of you know how like low slung the boots on something like a DeLorean is.
Oh God! Oh God!
Oh,
Because
Okay.
you're also cramming him kind of in between a portion of the engine housing, the rear engine housing. So there isn't a lot of storage space in the trunk or in the
Once
boot.
we cram him in there's not a lot of space for him to actually move to make noise or get out either, is there?
No, no.
Great.
But
So we're gonna.
you at least to your eye, you don't think that he is recovering anytime soon.
strip him naked,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
nick
Strip
his
naked,
clothes.
covering up his mouth just in case, shoving him in there as tightly as possible so he can't wiggle, shutting it. I'm going to remove my clothes and get dressed in his stuff.
This
Okay.
is why you should always have duct tape. Just
And
in
I do
case
have
you need
disguise
okay.
to try and get everything styled appropriately to suit his visuals.
Sure. What disguise is based on, or is it? It's deceive, isn't it?
Deceive. Sorry, it's not disguise. It's
Yeah.
deceive.
Deceive is based on allure. What's your allure?
9.
9. Okay, that is fine. You reckon you've done a very good job of.
I also heard his voice once when he said, "What the fuck?"
You did.
Once I've bunked the car, so to speak, and put everything there in motion, I'm going to send the drone back over to keep an eye in the sky
Okay.
and just make sure that no one's going to bother them imminently.
Is there room in the back of this vehicle for someone to hide while the other guy gets in, or not?
This is a 4-person vehicle, or driver. There is a back seat.
Okay. And so the what's his face?
It's
Already
not
said his
a
name.
coupe, basically.
No, the guy we're after.
Lamar.
Lamar always gets in the back seat. On which side?
No, he got into the passenger seat.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
Oh well then.
So, Silver,
Do you have a garage?
would you like to hide in the back seat and stab him in the neck when he gets in?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Are we doing a tour of great serial killer movies we have known?
Just feel a bit like it, doesn't it?
We're not serial killers. We're doing a job.
I fail to see the difference.
Serial killers do it for fun.
If you can make your job something you love, you'll never work a day in your whole life.
We don't want Lamar dead immediately, right?
No,
we don't.
We're pretty sure we can get good information out of him, but he will die.
Do I kind of just want to put him in like a good headlock? Or are we?
So the reason I was thinking sedative is because it will be faster, less likely to fight, less likely to pull out guns and knives.
Or call for help.
Yeah.
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 And yeah, it would use our last sedative, but we might be able to get more because this. Yeah. Okay.
So that's great.
Yeah.
More drugs. It's fine.
I think we should use the sedative. It's faster.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Okay. So, I believe I understand what your plan is.
Actually, once you've got it, you don't have to fly away imminently. Once you've got him, I can come up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I can actually pilot us out of there.
So, Demon, you are monitoring the situation on the ground.
I am, yeah.
It's a while.
Yeah.
And you then notice that the teams seem to have done all that they are going to, and they start moving back in the direction of the van. This is about Silver and Volt, you've probably been waiting about 45 minutes in the vehicle since knocking out the driver.
Waiting is a good way to not have to get into a fight.
Actually, no. It would be longer than that because they are being quite thorough. No, it's probably closer to an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then you notice that the team seem to be packing up and going. At this point, there is a crackle on the on a radio or a device in the car, and a voice comes over the intercom. I'm returning to the vehicle, prep to leave. Returning to TMI. And Drut, you then see on your drone a figure pulls away from the rest of the group. And climbs the ladder up to the roof where the air car is.
I will text that he's heading in their Lamar's heading in their direction.
Okay, so I'm going to send you pictures of the dashboard and ask for instructions for how to prep it to leave.
Okay, well, with that, presumably I can just send him you press this, this, and this, and it will switch it on.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yes. At least from... You've got high enough brains, it's not a problem. Now that you can see what it looks like, you've got a fair idea of how this would at least operate from a surface level. You haven't actually seen anything like this before.
Okay.
This is a very novel... This doesn't look like an aircraft thing, but some things have been modelled along similar lines.
There are some problems which will have the same solutions.
Even though it looks a bit different, you can make out what you expect is throttle and throttle engage, and such. So, with a bit of what's your brains?
My brains is 9.
No,
oh, sorry, no, 5. Sorry.
Oh, my brains is 5.
Okay. I need you to give me a roll against brains, sir. So as to see how well you can interpret or understand
the instructions,
what you have been told.
Sure. I still have 4 grit, so.
Yeah.
Don't roll the 12.
I rolled a 5 as a single success.
Okay. That is fine.
It's gobbledygook except for those words and those words. Okay.
Because nothing is labeled. There are no helpful symbols. There is no go on any of the buttons.
Oh my god! This is a Batman the Animated Series car.
Yes.
So the door opens, the passenger side door opens. And a figure that you recognize as Lamar slides into the passenger seat. Is all prepped.
Deception to mimic the voice of the guy that's in the boot.
Give me a deceive roll then, please. Yes, against your allure. This is narratively important. I'm going to ask for the roll.
Oh, no, absolutely. Deceive, right. Yeah, 5 and 7. I do.
That is fine.
Yep. Good to go. And I'm going to start.
Okay. You notice that Lamar hasn't looked at you.
Right.
He leans back. He leans back in his chair.
His door is already shut, right?
He shuts the door.
To yourself.
It's pretty much just time for me to stab him in the neck, I guess.
I guess so.
Yes. So,
The meat part of the neck, not the jugular part of the neck. The meaty.
Oh, I know.
give me a melee or a medical roll, please.
I want to do it under medical.
Well, it will be. Sorry, it is medical against your reflexes, though.
Oh, ouch.
You got any grit left?
1.
Okay. Fingers crossed. At least you're trained in medical.
2 and a 12.
Okay. That is
Excellent.
a success. That is still a success.
Okay, good.
Because you are trained in medical.
So you haven't accidentally created an embolism.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And
Good night,
he turns to look at he goes to look around, and his hand reaches for his pocket.
I go and hold his hand away from his pocket gently.
And he slumps down over the console.
Okay.
Do we have some
All
shiny?
right, Demon, we're good to go whenever you're able to get here.
Okay, I will recall and pack my drone, and then I will head back. I'm hoping by this point pretty much everyone's off to pack up and go.
You see the van pull away. Yeah.
In which case, yeah, I've got a clear run through to the car.
Okay.
I'm moving Lamar to the
Back
seat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're gonna. Okay, right. I
Cool.
will head up there.
And I'll keep an eye on him. Not that
Okay.
the sedative will wear off anytime soon, but just in case.
Sure.
Oh, I hope that guy in the boot doesn't throw up in his sleep. Oh, well,
Oh
never
no.
mind.
And the camera pans round as Demon approaches the vehicle, and you open the door and show them the unconscious body of Lamar Biftek, your target for one of your visions, and as you smile, the camera fades to black.
Excellent stuff.
We will pick up from this point at the beginning of next session, then, folks.
We really need to stick to the heist aspect of this. We're pretty good at getting in cleanly.
Look, just looking at the intimidate, interrogate of the guts, which I have.
There was every chance that this could have gone very differently.
Yes.
Had you not come up with that plan.
Yep.
I will say I was kind of hoping that was the plan you were going to go for.
It could have gone select all attack, but
Yeah,
you know,
very much so.
none of these guys are really that good.
I never thought that I'd hide under a car to to knock someone out.
I wish I could say it was my first time.
Almost first in tropes.
I'm sure I've tasered someone in the ankle.
You did throw ammonia in someone's face, though.
Oh, yeah, I've done that. That's fine.
So, yes, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. I hope you, the viewer, have enjoyed that session and are enjoying this story as we get back into the swing of things, both with this campaign and here on Hint Plays.
Yes.
So, thank you very much to my players. Thank you to Drut, to Seragil, and to Shard. How do I remember how to do this? So, thank you very much, everyone, for viewing. If you do wish to support the channel, you can do so in a number of ways. We are affiliated, or you can donate directly, which gets us more money.
Yep.
And everything goes to support the channel in the form of assets, books, VTTs, that sort of thing. To help people run games on the channel. Also, if !Discord will get you a link to our community, to the Hobby Gamers International community, if you are not already part of that, where we talk about the games that we're running and various other things indeed. Many of us are also streamers, and we will have various things going on this week. Drut, what do you have coming up?
Well, it looks like I just hit 400 follows today.
Woohoo!
a little while ago. So it looks suspiciously like tomorrow. Tomorrow is not tomorrow. Monday may well be Cat Cafe simulator time as my penalty for hitting 400 followers. Sorry,
That doesn't sound like a
celebration.
penalty.
Oh, it doesn't to you. But I don't do. I don't. It's pastel. It's,
It is very pastel. I haven't
It
played it
is
myself,
very
but it is
pastel.
on my to-play list.
I am now desperately trying to remember what the game title is so I can actually.
Calico.
Calico, that was it.
However, I feel it is probably more in my general wheelhouse than it is yours.
Oh, yeah, it's not in anything to do with me in any way, shape, or form, to be brutally honest. But yeah, I have set myself that, and it's probably going to be more fun than Leisure Suit Larry was. So yes, I will be playing Calico Porsum Edition. She says, just feeling her soul die. A day in the life community sim where you're giving an important and adorable task of rebuilding the town's cat cafe and filling it with cute and cuddly creatures. Build your cafe up by filling it with cute furniture, fun dessert decorations, yummy pastries, and get it bustling with animals again.
I'm kind of hoping it's going to be better than Cat Cafe Manager because I was a little bit disappointed with that.
Yeah. No, I can see that. This does look like a lot of fun, and it also looks like there is a strong sort of surrealist element to it. So I am kind of looking forward to playing it. It looks like it's going to be a giggle. It's just really, 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 really not my sort of thing. So I need to step out of the comfort zone a bit.
And what time is that tomorrow? Sorry, Monday.
Monday. No, it's because this isn't Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. Because this session usually goes out on a Sunday, but we've had to do a bit of a swap.
Right, so that will be around 7:30 on Monday, leading on from, if Sasha Sienna is streaming, leading on from Jane Austen Book Club.
Cool. And what about next Thursday? Because that's your other usual.
Next Thursday, where I need to sort out what we're doing, whether we're going to be doing a second session 0 because we didn't finish the first one, or whether I'm going to be back to the room 4. Cool. But we need to have a wild seed discussion and just check who's around.
Sure. Shard, any plans for this week?
I am going to be on hiatus until I move, and at this point, with life on this side of things, it's chaotic.
Understandable indeed. As for myself, I will be back next Wednesday at 6 p.m. BST for more Shadows Overloading, where hopefully I will get my degree and we will get that book out of the stacks. And although almost certainly there is going to be more running around the geology department. And then at some point else, probably the next Thursday or next Friday, there will be another Car Chat and Chill or something of a similar ilk. And that's it from us as streamers. Coming up on the channel next tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. BST is K2 with the next installment of Deeper Dreams, which Shard will be on. Then we've got actually 2 weeks of
2 weeks of Deeper Dreams, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. And then next Saturday in this time slot on the channel at 3 p.m. BST, we have the start of episode 2 of Star Trek Adventures with Robinson, myself, Shard, and Lexi in the player seats there. So, lots going on. Please do tune in, and we hope you enjoyed what you have seen. Otherwise, we are going to bid you all a fond farewell, a good night, or whatever time zone you happen to find yourself in. And we'll be back next week, tomorrow. Whenever. Yes, sometime.
In the future.
Yes.
Where we all will live.
You can tell I haven't done this outro in a while, but take care, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
See you all soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.